make it about a play.
Hi everybody, this is Tina. Welcome to my video today, you guys. I'm ecstatic to make this card. I had so much fun making this card. We're gonna make a Christmas card and we're using this die set. So this is the Playful Pals die set, okay, which seems really weird, like, right? Like, what is this? So this is the die that creates the little triangle box, and then it also coordinates with the little critter stamp set, and you can make the little like 3D critters like the lion and the elephant, and then these are all the different pieces that you can do that with, right? So it's really weird. Like, how's this gonna be a Christmas card? Let me tell you. So I was putting my framelits away that I got in my big Christmas order last week, because I ordered all of my Christmas stuff from Stampin' Up! Like a week and a half ago or so. So I was putting all of this away, and as I was flipping through my dies, I happened to see this die set, and I saw this right here, and immediately I thought about a Christmas light. I thought that kind of looks like a Christmas light, and even this longer one right here could be like one of those longer Christmas lights, and I thought like this was like the same shape as it. This like wouldn't work. This is like the tail to one of the critters, and like this is like the elephant's hoof. Or not hoof, the elephant's nose. So I was like looking at it and I was like, I think that this would work. And then this also kind of looks like a gumdrop, right? So I pulled this set out and let's make a card. Like, it's so fun. This card turned out so great. So I'm using the Merry and Bright sentiment from this stamp set. It's the only thing I used. So I went ahead and I've already embossed that with gold. And then I used the banner framelit to cut it out. And I just did that to save time because this card is going to be a little tiny bit time consuming. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put maybe this whole thing. Is that easier for you guys to see? I think so. So the first thing we can do is I just have this stack right here. It's the 6x6 Christmas stack in the holiday catalog. And I have a piece of Whisper White, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So it's going to layer onto this black piece really nice. But we can just attach this green piece, this pattern piece, and it's going to go right at the top. And I have a couple other card samples to share with you guys at the end of this video with the same kind of technique. So make sure you stay tuned to check those out. So you could use any of these patterns. There's this red. I did one with the red, which would be cute. But any of these that have like just this pattern, this would be cute, would totally work. So this piece is cut at 2 3/4, and then it's just by 4. So it's going right on the top there. So, and then at the very end, this is gonna layer on the black card front, and then the card front will layer onto a white card so that we can write in the inside of the card. So now let's look at these little pieces right here. So let me zoom in so you guys can see. We're gonna have to do a couple things to these. So what I've done is I've cut all of the pieces in black first, and then I've cut them in colors. So I have a red, green, yellow, purple, and blue. And the first thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna add a little bit of detail to these. So I've just taken some darker ink of each color. So for the yellow, and I just got these out of my scrap bin. So I don't really even have any idea what color these are. I just got a yellow, and then I got one of my darker inks. And I'm just inking around the edge and onto the thing just a little bit. So there's a little bit of dimension. And then what you're gonna wanna do is snip the top of the colored one. You just snip the top of the color off, and then you'll move on to the next one. So it is a little bit of die cutting because you have to cut 5 black pieces, and then you have to cut one of each of the colors. So then here's a green one. So I'm back, and I wanted to show you how to put these together. Now you could ink after you put these guys together. So I just have my black piece right here that I cut, and then I have my colored piece that I've inked, and I've snipped the top off, so then you can put these together. You can ink these after you put them together, after you put the black pieces together, and then just make sure, I wanted to just point out, make sure you ink on the edges and bring that ink up so it's darker. That'll give you more depth. So now I have all these colors, and they're like little Christmas lights. Let's work on this piece without the black piece under there first. So now what you want to do is grab some of this gold baker's twine. This comes in a set with some red and some green. So it comes in a pack of 3. And you're going to want a pretty long piece. And you're going to need some tape. And we're going to get this twine started on the back. So we want our twine, we're going to wrap this around the bottom, and the lights are going to be hanging off of it. So what I'm going to do is tape this string up here kind of at an angle so that it's coming down off this part, okay? So now you're going to need some glue dots, and this is where it's just going to be real creative. I'm going to get a glue dot ready. And this twine it's pretty, like it has some like stiffness to it. So it's going to be easy to kind of manipulate it, and it'll stay for just a second. You'll see when you start working with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a loop. We're going to make a couple loops on here, but again, we want it to be going down because it's going to go down and kind of up. So you make your loop kind of where you want it to be, and then you're going to grab your glue dot. And it's going to be okay if the glue dot is showing because the lights are going to cover that glue dot up. So have our loops. So the next thing we can do is go ahead and put our sentiment that on next. Is that way we can arrange the lights all around our sentiment and nothing will be weird like that. Now we can begin arranging our lights. So what works is half of a dimensional if you want to pop these up. So I like to start with the red one, and what I like to do is just kind of lay them out first, just to see where they're going to go. So we'll put one there. So what I realized when I was laying these out, that I actually needed one more light just to make it even. Just the way my loops worked, I ended up needing one more. So I went ahead and I did it in yellow. I made another one. I did it in yellow. And now I can put all these together. In the other 2 cards you'll see, I just used 5 lights and it ended up working fine. But you know, you can always add more, or if you don't quite want 5, you could add less. So I'm going to stick these over. If there's a glue dot somewhere, I'm going to stick them over. And then like the yellow one, I'll go ahead and I'll do flat. And then this one, I'll pop up. That's why it's a good idea to lay these out just to see how they're going to work before you glue them down. So I have put the white piece on foam and attached that to the black, and then I put it all in a card base. So we only have one more thing that we have to do to this card. Of course, we have to add some glitter. So I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella clear glitter pen. Remember when you're adding your Wink of Stella to your lights, there's ink on those lights. So the Wink of Stella will react to that ink, and if your Wink of Stella brush goes onto your white, it will leave an inky mark. So that happened to me on one of the cards. So then there's a couple more things we're going to do just to jazz this. We have all the glitter on there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm taking a silver Sharpie, and I'm just going to add a couple silver lines to the black tops. Now this is a pretty thick silver Sharpie, so the lines aren't going to be perfect, and they do kind of fade into the black. If you had a silver jelly roller pen, it would look better. I'll just get that up close for you guys so you can see. It just adds a little bit of detail. Then I'm just taking some glossy accents or some crystal effects, any of that is that makes it look like a glass. And I'm just taking a paintbrush and I'm painting it on instead of using the tip to kind of squirt it on. I'm too nervous that this is going to, and then even see it ran a tiny little bit. So I'm just nervous that this is gonna, I don't want anything to glop on here. So I'm just gonna put this on here. It's really gonna make that glitter pop. How beautiful is this card? Once all that glossy accents, crystal effects dries right there, it's going to be shiny and it's going to look just like Christmas lights. So let me show you a couple of the other ones I did. I did this one right here, and it's the same concept, and this would have been fine if I wouldn't have done the splats across the sentiment. So the sentiment kind of gets washed out in that, but it turned out okay. And then this is the very first one I made. So I just didn't back it with the black piece of cardstock. I just did it like this. So you can see where I just used the 5 lights. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this card. I'm super proud of it. I love the way it turned out, and I hope that you will try it. So I'll be back later this week with more projects for you guys, and thank you so much for coming by and watching my video. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, checking out my video. I have 2 other videos here for you guys. The first one is the super cute window card I made last week with the little ghosts. And then the second one is the October Project Life pages that I put together at the end of last week. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll be back later this week to share with you some more.